The Army Painter Academy is your source to learn from and connect with our in-house team of talented painters and designers, including the talented and diverse artists and gamers from the Army Painter Factory team. This is part 2 of our focus on the new edition of Warhammer Horus Heresy, or 30k for you diehards out there, and we've recruited Metters Miniatures, one of the world's most well-known Heresy painters, to demonstrate how he paints the legions from the starter box set. In part 1, we painted a Salamander's Marine and Contemptor Dreadnought, and in this installment, Metters is going to show you how he tackles the armor of the Warsmiths from Olympia, Perturabo's own Iron Warriors, complete with gritty metal and hazard stripes. With our intro complete, it's time to find the iron within. So tap into this tutorial. The paint is inside. Metters began with a base coat using Color Primer Matte Black, part of our 2-in-1 primer and base coat technology, and he follows that up with a base coat of Banshee Brown from the John Blanche Masterclass series. You could just as easily use Color Primer Oak Brown for a very similar result. We have the Marine fully assembled and the Sakaran tank in partial subassembly to make the process a bit easier. And really, go ahead, name a better looking tank in all of wargaming. This one is on another level, which may explain why I own 6 of them. I'll digress as Metters preps his new favorite painting tool, makeup sponges, and begins sponging on a layer of heavy metal, once again from the John Blanche Masterclass series, which are actually now available on our web store as singles. A similar effect can be achieved by using our monster or moderate Masterclass dry brush combined with the stippling technique. While stippling or sponging, you want to ensure that the brown base coat is still visible in the shadows and recesses, especially as we begin to layer up our next coat of Warpaint's Fanatic Gunmetal, a slightly brighter metallic. Moving up in metallic volume, that sounds like a great name for a painting playlist, we are using Plate Mail Metal as the next step in our iron progression, or else they'd be without iron. Iron without, iron within, oh, I'll stop. With Shining Silver, we will finish off our initial layering before applying some depth and color. Those of you that know Metters already know that he is a wizard with both the airbrush and speed paint, especially when used in combination. If you don't already subscribe to his channel, Metters Miniatures, do it as soon as you're done watching this video to see even more semi-transparent tech from him. He's using speed paint Satchel Brown, focusing this on the upper panels of the metallic armor. With tanks, they tend to cast their own shadow, so applying a lightly darker tint to the top of the panels will add some simple realism to the finished piece. You can use the same color to add shadow and depth wherever you see fit, like joints on the plating or over the recesses, and for more traditional shading as portrayed here on the turret. Satchel Brown plays really nicely with the established Banshee Brown base color, letting the metal meet in the middle for effective color continuity and contrast. And it adds a worn, greasy, heretical feel to the otherwise bright metallics. With your favorite dry brush and mithril, our brightest metallic from the Warpaint's Fanatic Metallics range, apply a light dry brush to all of the hard edges and details. Alright, what kind of alchemy is Metters whipping up now? A mix of ruddy fur and ancient honey speed paint in a 2-to-1 ratio. I think this is going to be the base color for our hazard stripes. Let's see if I'm correct. Nope, not even close. Instead, Metters is using this for a very simple dirty bronze for the trim. Super clever. The transparency of the speed paints allows some of the mica and aluminum flake from the metallics to shine through. This will save at least 2 additional steps. Well done, Metters. Now using Warpaint's Fanatic Matte Black, we'll base coat the shoulder pauldrons and other details on the tank before applying a gloss varnish through the airbrush over the miniatures as a protective seal. I like to recommend applying at least 2 coats, allowing the first to dry completely before applying the second. Next, using some hobby masking tape, and I'm fairly certain this time that he's definitely painting some hazard stripes, and if I'm wrong, I will vow to eat one of Thomas's old socks. Now using Fiendish Yellow and his trusty sponge, Metters is laying down a base coat for our yellow hazard stripes. He'll follow that with some Demonic Yellow as layered highlights. Once again, using speed paint through the airbrush as a glaze, he'll apply some shading, and this will add some nice richness to that yellow. Give that speed paint time to dry, then another layer of gloss varnish before masking off the hazard stripes. You could always freehand these, but on these larger panels, any mistakes are going to be more apparent, so it's worth it to invest the time into varnishing and masking off the model. Now you're ready to add the black stripes with matte black. The sponge allows some of that yellow to show through for a really simple battle-worn effect, which will be reinforced a bit later on. Go ahead and apply your transfers now if you're into that kind of thing, and if you are, it's not like there's anything wrong with that. Once your transfers are set, grab some of the base colors like gunmetal here and apply some chipping effects with a rough sponge. You can follow that with Banshee Brown to bring the weathering back down to that base color. I still need to try this, but Metters likes to seal everything with a final coat of a custom mix of Warpaint's Air Satin and Matte Varnish. Metters, why do you like to mix the two?
That's a really good question. I'll often use a combination of satin varnish, matte varnish, and airbrush medium, all through the airbrush, in order to finish my Horus Heresy miniatures. Now, this combination is really, really nice. What it does do, and the benefit of it, is that it gives that matte Age of Darkness, grimdark vibe that you'd expect from Space Marines during the Imperium torn asunder by Civil War, but still maintains the vibrancy of the armor. So in this example with our Iron Warriors, we will still have some of that metallic sheen because we've added a little bit of satin varnish in, but everything is dulled back slightly because obviously we've used the matte varnish in there as well.
All right, once that varnish has done drying, we're going to add some mithril to the lenses. And then we'll follow this with a glossy and semi-transparent True Blood effects paint. I love hacks like this. While it's branded as a blood effect, clearly it has other uses, as Metters is showing off here. This makes me feel a little bit better. I wasn't too far off with the Ancient Honey being used for hazards. A simple and effective way to add hazard stripes to smaller parts of the miniature, like the knee pad here, is to base coat your design with white and black, then apply your speed paint over top of both of them. You can tidy up, refine, and weather as you see fit from there. I really enjoyed watching a true army painting master showcase simple and effective ways to paint up the featured factions from the Warhammer Horus Heresy New Edition release. To learn more about our factory team and the products used in this tutorial, as well as our full range of products designed to make miniature painting fast, easy, and fun, but with the performance needed for artists like Metters, visit your friendly local game store, preferred online retailer, or stop by thearmypainter.com to learn more.